So these are the results of the survey. Yesterday we looked at lack of time and ways that you can get jump started on managing that. Today we're going to have a look at some marketing tips to help you get a jump start on that. Cherry red. Smells good. Okay. What is marketing? Marketing is really just you trying to convince your client that if they purchase your product, we'll make this a little window door thing. If they do this, they purchase it, and they go through this transformation that you've created for them, whatever it is, a product, a service. If they do that, then on the other side, they'll come out better off than they were before. So let's say they're like that. But the biggest thing to focus on when you're marketing is you want to show them the potential after. Don't focus on the transformation itself. You want to focus on what they're going to become. So don't be like, okay, you spend this money and then you get this thing. You tell them you spend this money and you're going to become this person. You're going to start off this person, you're going to become this person. This is what you're trying to sell them. This is what you want to convince them to purchase, the after. They don't care about the in-between. They just want to be this smiley little person right here. So how do you convince them of this? There's a lot of different ways, but I'm just going to teach you a really quick tip that can get you started. Yeah, so I'm going to teach you about something that I call anchor pricing. And all it is simply creating a price structure that will make your products more appealing just in relation to each other. Now, what the heck does that mean? I'm selling you this pen, okay? And I'm telling you that the price for this pen right here, which one is this? Blueberry. The price for this blueberry pen is $5. Okay? Now, if we look at the $5 for this pen on its own, you might think, that's kind of a lot for one single pen. But if we say, oh, well, we've got the neon option here, and kind of smells like Slurpees. This one, let's say you want this one. This one is $10. So all of a sudden, this $5 pen doesn't look so expensive when you're putting it next to this $10 pen. And what you're doing is you're anchoring them to this higher price so that the thing that you're mostly trying to sell them, this regular blue pen, not the neon one, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is actually an easy buy now because I'm actually saving a bunch of money, because if I spend the money on the neon pen, that'd be twice as much money. What's this one? Oh, ice cream. Ew. Okay, so this one. Ew, it smells like rotten freaking cheese. Okay, so so this one actually, it's like rotten cheese smell. Let's say you put this one on the other side of that. Be like, okay, well, now we're gonna anchor this to, let's say this one is only gonna be $1. All right, so now all of a sudden you're looking at like, okay, well, I could just spend $1, but then I'm gonna get the blue that smells like rotten cheese, or I could spend $10 and get the neon blue, but I don't really think I want a stinky one, and I also don't really think that I want to spend $10 on the neon. So this medium price, the middle price right here, is looking pretty appealing all of a sudden, even though initially you might have thought that the $5 was a lot for a Mr. Sketch scented pen. But when your alternatives are rotten cheese or paying double for a neon blue one, this $5 price point is now quite appealing. So, anybody want to buy my $5 Mr. Sketch? It's so funny. All that you have to do is make sure that you have 3 price points, so a low, a mid, a high, and you want your mid price to be your most popular product. So depending on what you're selling, if you're selling like service packages, you want this one to be your most popular one. If you're selling a product, like say your coffee shop and you're selling like a $5 coffee, you want this to be the most popular thing. But then you're gonna have a lower price point, say like a cheap coffee for people who maybe don't want to spend this much yet. And then you also want to have a higher price point to not only anchor it, but there are going to be some people who want to spend the higher price. They might just really, really like you. They might just really, really like your product. They might just be the type of person that like to spend, always go for the highest package. Having 3 price points is the best way to do that. Focusing on the middle one as being the one that you want to sell the most of. And then you want each level going up to be 2 to 5 times higher. So this is your low. You want a mid price and you want a high price. And I really suggest 3 price points in general. You don't need more than that. Less than that isn't quite enough. And you want the low to be like make sure it's profitable, but this is your entry point. And it really, really depends on what is your product. Like, what is your product? So that will determine your low. Your mid price should be 2 to 5 times higher than your low price, as we've done here. And then your high price should be, again, 2 to 5 times higher than your midpoint. So here we've doubled it at the $10 point. And that is the basics of anchor pricing, and it is a quick little psychological tool that you can use to automatically make your buy, like that end point, a bit easier for your client to make that decision, because they like to know that they're paying less than the potential high. Another thing that this will do is that it will often make negotiations less common. It also gives you, it'll pretty much almost immediately increase your sales, because you're going to get this high price point, because people will see it as an option and they might just choose it. And then the midpoint will be something that you want people to buy. So maybe this is the thing that they usually buy, so you want to make a midpoint that's a bit higher than that in some way, shape, or form. So you might, if you're doing a service, make sure you never charge hourly. Make sure it's always a package. So this will be your initial package. Mid package is the one that you want them to do, and then the high package will be something that's, again, 2 to 5 times higher. So this strategy alone will automatically increase your sales, and it'll automatically increase your profits. And it's a simple way to make the purchase part more appealing, because sometimes that point of like letting go of the cash is like the hardest part for people. This makes it a bit easier because they're comparing it to a higher price. You guys said that time was one of your biggest challenges. I've made a video which you can look at. I will put the link in the bottom so you can look at that to get a little bit of a tips about that. And then marketing, we've just covered that. And then finance, I actually created a course for you guys, a little mini course that's based on pricing. So it'll go a little bit more deeper into the marketing side of it, but it'll also go into the financial side of it and making sure that your prices are profitable, because that is a big thing. It doesn't really matter how much of something you're selling. If you're not actually making money on it, it doesn't matter if you're selling 10,000 of them, you're not making any money, then you're not profitable. So that's what we'll go into in the pricing course, along with a little bit more about the psychology of pricing. So if you want to do that course, just check in the description. There is a link there, and you can sign up for the course for free as my gift to you to help you overcome these 3 biggest challenges that you told me as part of the survey. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And bye-bye for now.